One love, God bless. Far Nelson here, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to change your life overnight. So, changing your life overnight isn't impossible. I know a lot of people might say that. A lot of people might say that, it's going to take a lot of work and all this and that. And even though they're somewhat right, to change overnight in general, though, is not impossible. Sometimes for us, all it takes is seeing, a terrible slaughterhouse video for someone to go vegan overnight, or it takes someone to, have a terrible experience to overnight, find God, find Jah, find the Most High. So sometimes it just happens to us. Sometimes we just kind of get fed up with the cycle of life, or we just want to do better in our life, and we just make a decision to stop repeating the same cycles and make changes in our life. Sometimes we just have that feeling in us and that, confidence in us that we can do it. And it really is that simple. It really is just us making a conscious decision to do something different. And for a lot of us, we have experienced this changing overnight because we felt the change, and then our life started to, align with the changes that we felt inside once we started to learn more knowledge. But lots of times we feel the change first. Lots of times we feel an inner shift that is almost like a calling that, maybe for the first week we kind of listen to here and there, but we mainly ignore. Then the second week we're like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this a little bit. And then the third week you're like, okay, I'm starting to wake up a little bit. Sometimes it's a gradual process for people like this. And then sometimes it is just a drastic, I'm done. This is it. This is the last, straw. I'm changing right here and now. And this can be you. You don't have to be forced into changing. You don't have to wait for a circumstance to push you into changing. Yes, sometimes it is a great catalyst to change, but we don't want to wait until we're fed up or, things like this to change. We don't want to wait till there's a disease in the body, or there's, a family member that needs help, or, mental illness going on, and all these types of stuff. We don't want to wait till these catch up to us to, change overnight. We don't want to wait till we're, just completely unhealthy to start exercising and doing the stuff that we need to do. We don't want to wait too long to change overnight until it's almost a hazard to change. Sometimes people can get so obese that if they do work out for too long, it's a hazard to their health, to their body, to their limbs. They have to be in wheelchairs. Sometimes people, if they are having mental health problems, then even something, that would be therapeutic, like walking in nature, is causing them so much anxiety and OCD and germophobia, stuff like this. This is what happens when we wait until the last minute to change, when we wait until there's problems to realize, oh wait, I need to do some inner growth. I'm not saying everybody that has these problems and ailments suffers from these things of just waiting so long till something happens. But what I'm saying is it can be prevented. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like this, but it can be prevented. It can be a different story for you. You don't have to go down the same path that everybody in your family went down, that everybody in your friend group went down, that everybody in your town went down, that everybody in your culture went down. We don't have to repeat the same cycles. We don't have to fall into the same traps just because we got ourselves really stuck. We can still get ourselves out. You're not all the way in the trap. You just kind of got yourself halfway stuck. Your big toes in there. But there's still a way out if you make a change overnight. If you decide, before your body, mental or spirit has had enough, if you decide, okay, I've had enough and I'm not going to wait to the last minute. I'm not going to wait to my rock bottom to change. So I'm sure you guys are thinking, how can you change overnight though? How is this possible? And I'm going to tell you, it is simple. It is easy to do. But it takes one important thing. And that thing is discipline. You're going to have to train your mind to love discipline. Because it takes 30 days, preferably 60 days, to truly build a habit and see the benefits to the point where it almost switches to a instant gratification when you even think about, oh, I'm about to go get ready to do this. When you're first starting to work out, it's always tough, but by day 30, by day 60, you're seeing results, you're feeling how good it is, and you're excited to go to the gym and stuff like this. You're excited to go on a run. You're excited to get in nature and go on a hike. But it takes discipline. The change can happen overnight, but it's gonna take discipline to continue with the change. And it just make a marker for 30 days. And then I'm telling you, once those 30 days are up, you're going to see yourself thinking differently about what you're doing now, instead of thinking of it as a burden or suffering. And it's not just about exercising. I don't even really exercise. I do some hiking here and there and stuff like this, and get my workouts in other ways. But what you need to be doing if you want to change overnight is discipline yourself so that you can do the things you need to do to change. So that you can tell yourself, hey, I'm going to wake up 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours earlier, just so I can meditate every single morning. I'm going to make sure when I get home, instead of bringing my negative energy back from the outside world, after a long day of working or a long day of whatever you're doing throughout the day, around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever time you want to do it, I would say even earlier, maybe 5 o'clock, especially if you have kids and stuff like this. You set some more time aside for you to journal, meditate, and just sit for at least 30 minutes. And this is something that you have to discipline yourself and say that this is what you're going to start doing. You can tell everybody so they know. You can put a timer on so everybody can hear the timer, but you are not to be bugged for 30 to 45 minutes, however long it takes you, however long you want to sit. But you need to start doing this so you can start looking within and breaking down those barriers that's stopping you from changing. And why I really am starting with meditation and discipline is because this is something that's going to open you up to be more receptive to changing, to realize your flaws and your, mistakes that you make, or the judgment that you make, or the quick tempers that you have, and figure out why you're having these emotions, why these emotions are coming up, and how you can change them, or how it's not something from the outside that's causing these emotions, but something from the inside that's being triggered by something someone else is saying. Because these people may know that it's going to trigger you in a certain way, but 9 times out of 10, when you're having conversations with people, they don't mean to trigger you. They don't mean to make you feel sad. They don't mean to make you feel, any type of negative way usually. But if we feel these emotions, and even if the person is trying to make you feel a negative way, if you feel the emotions, that's something you need to look at. Because if you know the truth about yourself, then nobody's able to hurt you, mentally and spiritually at least. So we have to realize doing meditation is going to help us know ourselves. The most important thing is for us to know thyself. And to know thyself is to know the Most High, to be in touch with the Lord, which is part of all of us. Just like a drop of the ocean, it's still a part of the ocean. This is humanity. Just because we are individuals as we think we are, we're still just a whole ocean that is just thinking that we're separate. And we're all part of the Most High. We're all made by the Lord, with the Lord, here to experience the world so the Lord can experience the world and we can experience the Lord's love as the world and as our people. So brings me to my next, I guess, tip you want to say to changing overnight. You know, you have discipline, you have meditation, and what you're going to have is undeniable faith. Now, of course, I know there's some people that's like faith is associated with a religion and, you know, you got to pick a religion and pick a side, but I'm not about picking sides. I'm down to read I read the Bible. I'm down to read any holy books. I'm down to read all different types of books, the Quran, the Torah, the Bhagavad Gita. I want to read them all. I love them all. The Gospel of the Holy 12, the Book of Enoch, you know, all these things I'm studying, and it's not that I want to be a specific religion. That's not the point. The point is to get closer to the Most High. Buddha is the same divine entity that Jesus was, that Muhammad was, that, you know, you name it was, you know, anybody. We all have this divine entity in us. And I know you maybe don't think that you're spiritual or want to believe in faith and things like this, but I'm sorry to tell you, if you even read a book on how to get rich, it's going to talk about spiritual stuff. It's going to talk about changing your mindset. You know, unless you're just looking straight at a real estate book, I mean, it probably still will tell you about some spiritual stuff and how to think positive and how customers want you to be a positive person. I mean, it's the spiritual plane. Forget about astrology. Forget about, you know, people doing cards and all these extra things, and forget about all that. The spiritual plane is the law. It's if you fall from a high place, you are going to be in pain. This is law. This is something that man cannot decide, and man cannot write and say this is law. No, there are certain laws in this universe that you just have to come to terms with. It's not anything that's going to harm you if you believe it. You know, of course you cannot believe it, but what harm is it going to do if you do believe it? It's not going to harm you. The only thing it's going to do is strengthen you. Not having faith in only Jesus, you know. I believe in having faith in the Most High, in Yahweh, in God, in whatever you want to call it. Not him, it, the I am, the word. Talker. My dog's like digging. Talker. But yeah, you want to believe in the word. You're not just believing in faith for religion type of dogma and practice. For some type of religion and dogma type of practice. You want to believe in faith because it is a truth. It is a truth, just as if you fall, just as if something falls from a high place, it's going to hit something. It's going to hit the ground. You know, you can't jump out of a plane and not hit the ground. You can't just float on water just by being a ball. And there's certain laws. If you lay on your back and you're perfectly distributing your weight, you can float on water. This is a law. This is something that we have to realize and get out of our head. The spiritual plane is not something just for people that are, you know, weird hippies and all types of things that people be thinking about the spiritual plane. It's not just for people doing astrology and people with crystals and this and that. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to get yourself a prayer rug. You don't have to do a meditation pillow. You can just meditate and just sit like this if you want, like on your, just with your knees bent at a 90-degree angle, just sitting on your couch if you want. You don't have to do any of these things. But the most important thing it definitely is discipline and meditation. But one of the very most important things is having faith, because I want to say that the other two are very important as well, is because everybody can say they have faith, but if they don't enact the disciplines and enact the connection with the Most High, which is during your meditation, during your prayers. If you're not doing these practices, then lots of times we can be steered away from our true paths. We can be steered into evilness, So you need to have faith, and this is very, very important. Just as important as the other ones, but the other ones help you connect with the Most High. It helps you connect with the faith that you're building and get understanding about what that faith means to you, because all of us have a definition of faith. Some of you might think about, the Most High differently than I do. Some of you only pray to Jesus. Some of you pray to whole different other gods in your head. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's all from the same source. We're not different. We're not split. We're supposed to be one people. This is the real teachings. We're not supposed to be here to figure out who's Christian and who's Judas and who's Jewish and who is Muslim no, we're all supposed to be the Most High's people. And we need to have faith that everything is connected, that everything is working for our greatest good, that everything is happening and being shown to us for a reason. This video is being shown to you for a reason, The reason that you're feeling these feelings of wanting to change overnight is for a reason. Many are called, but few are chosen. I say that all the time. And it really means that. It means that you are being called, but very few people choose to follow that calling. And you're doing the work even right now by watching this video, by following that call. By clicking this video, you're following that call. So I want you to continue to build that faith, because the synchronicities in your life is not for no reason. It's to show you that there is a divine source pulling you in the right direction, and to show you that the stars are aligning. So build that faith. It's going to help you so much change overnight, and just continue to stay on that change, because that faith is what's going to guide you. It's what's going to keep you aware and keep you realizing your blessings. So while you're building that faith up, you're going to want to build your knowledge. So overnight, I need you to not wake up to your phone. That's first and foremost. Don't wake up to your phone. Discipline yourself. Do your meditation first. Brush your teeth first. Maybe go walk your dog if you have to walk your dog. Then come back in. Still haven't looked at your phone. Do your meditation and your prayers. Or your prayers and meditations. Whatever order you want to do them. And then, if you have time still, and you don't really need to look at your phone, maybe read a couple, just a page or two of a spiritual book, or just a book about, inner wisdom or something like this, because it's going to help you get a positive mindset throughout the day. Or read some affirmations. But you want to start getting in this habit. Even when I brush my teeth, I'm reading, affirmations or prayer or things like this. So we want to get out of our phone for the first half of the morning. I know I was just talking about knowledge, but that phone thing came in my head, and I had to say it because it's so important. It changed my morning routine so much, and I don't even check YouTube until like way later, almost like 10, 11, and I'm up at like 6:30, something like this. No, I'm up at like 6, actually. Actually earlier, but I'm not trying to be one of those guys who's like bragging about how early they get up. I wish I could sleep in. But get off your phone first thing in the morning. I'm telling you, you're gonna have a much better morning, much less stress, much less, unwanted pictures and images in your head that, are making you want things that you don't want, or you feel like you don't have things you don't need, and things like this. We don't need to see horror first thing in the morning. So why don't we just start our morning with some affirmations? Start building up your notes and building up a list of good affirmations, and good little affirmation. Like sometimes you can get affirmation paragraphs, that give you a whole statement to say about power, about love, about compassion, or about success. And you can use these affirmations in the morning while you brush your teeth to just look at them and just read, pick one of the affirmations about power or success or love or whatever one you want, and just read it while you're brushing your teeth in your head. And then maybe do a little prayer and, go about your day. And then you go and you do your meditation and your prayer, your real prayers and stuff like this. And I'm telling you, make yourself a cup of tea, read a couple pages, and your day will be beautiful. It'll be blissful. It'll be in a way better way of starting your day, in a way more peaceful way, and you'll see how your day changes. And one more tip about the morning: give back in the morning. If you have some people live around homeless people. I know I live somewhere close to homeless people, and I'm able to give back in the morning, not all the time, but at least I'll bring a couple dollars with me, or I'll bring like a bag of just food and clothes and stuff like this, a little bag of stuff, and I'll just take this tote bag and give it to someone if I feel that they, are in need. And when you do this and start your morning like this, it's almost the best way to start your morning, especially with the meditations and stuff like this. It is the best way to start your morning and show your abundance to the Most High and to yourself, and show that you have love and compassion for your brother, and you are really starting your day walking in faith of the Most High and walking in the divine righteous path that you're supposed to walk in. So if you want to change overnight, I definitely want you to start thinking in a gratitude and a giving back type of mindset, because it's going to help accelerate your love, your blessings, and your, hope for general humanity. So we have to realize that, back on track now, we have to realize we also need to be building knowledge. And why do we need to be building knowledge? Because we don't know everything. I don't know everything. I'm just giving you guys the information that I have received and that the Most High is putting through to me, to you right now, because none of this is planned out. It's just giving you the information that I have gathered throughout the years. And building knowledge is so important for you just being able to trust, not really that there is a Most High or that there is a divine source or things like this, but it's just to trust that there's truth, that there's divine truth, that there's divine law that is across the board. Like, it doesn't matter almost what book you read, it all comes back to the same spiritual book. It doesn't matter what spiritual book you read, it all comes back to the same source at the very end, and that is to love thy neighbor as thyself, and to live a humble way It doesn't mean you can't have a lot of money. It doesn't mean you can't go on a lot of trips. It doesn't mean that you can't, have nice cars and nice things. But it's just you should be showing love and living humble. You shouldn't be flashy about things. You shouldn't have to have your all 10 diamond chains on, and your grills on, and your diamond earrings, and your diamond glasses. And you know what I mean? We don't need to be living like this. We don't need to be acting out in these crazy ways. We just need to be showing love, sharing the wealth, sharing the abundance, sharing the wisdom and the knowledge. And we want to build as much knowledge as we can in different, whatever you're interested in, whatever books you're interested in. But you always want to, well, this is what I particularly do. I read one spiritual book and one other book, which usually is, like a holy text or something about, money, or something about power or success or leadership, or an autobiography. So you read a holy book, and at the same time you read a filler book, an extra book of your choice. There's a lot of autobiographies of people that write books. I read Common and Michael Beckwith and Magic of Thinking Big, How to Get Rich. There's a bunch. But just try to read 2 books. You read a chapter of one, and then, one half of the day, and then a few hours later, you read a chapter of another book. And it really helps you just build it up. And before you know, you're finishing one book and you're on to the next one. Then the other book is getting finished, and you're on to the next one. And then before you know, you're just reading because you picked it up and you love reading. Like, reading at first seemed like it was going to be so boring, and why am I going to do this when I could just listen to books on tape? But reading itself and gaining knowledge, especially while reading, spiritual wisdom while reading, it's really a meditation in itself, because you're focusing only on the words, you're focusing only on comprehending, and you want to make sure you get it right. You want to make sure you're reading it right, you're on the right line. Sometimes you're using your finger, even highlight if you want to, really get engaged. But you're going to want to be reading as much as you can, because like I said, it's a meditation, and it's going to be gaining your knowledge. And this is going to help you be more sure of yourself and your connection with the Most High, and that everybody is on the same page. Like, when you realize that all these peaceful and spiritual and, wise people are talking about the same thing, this spiritual divinity, this spiritual power, these affirmations, this manifestations, you realize, okay, this isn't just a hokey pokey joke thing. Like, I need to really look into this. I need to really try it out in my life and dedicate myself to changing my mind, and stop talking negativity, stop talking, limitations, and just try it out for a week, try it out for 30 days and see what it does. When you start seeing all these people talking about the same thing, it makes you want to change. It makes you want to try it out. When you start reading about people doing these meditations or going to deep meditations, it's making you want to meditate for an hour. After that, you're like, wow, I need to figure out what they're doing. So once we learn more, we get more inspired on our journey. We, want to change more overnight. So I advise you to change what you're watching, change what you're listening to, change what you're, whatever. If you're reading, that's good. But get more spiritual books, get more holy books, get more holy texts, and you'll find out that everything is connected. Everything is, books will start aligning, and you'll start reading you'll start reading this one book, and then you'll start reading another book, and you'll be like, whoa, they're talking about kind of the same thing, and that was in this book. So you have to realize that there's divine truth, there's a universal truth, and building your knowledge is going to help you really secure that. It's not a science thing. If you want scientific evidence, then sorry, you're going to be depressed like most of your life, because it's hard to get scientific evidence for something that's undefiable. that knows that you want to know, that knows you want physical evidence. It's not that easy in life. So we have to build knowledge. We have to have that discipline to build knowledge, you know? And then I'll give you the last thing. If you want to change overnight, you're going to have to change your self-talk. You're going to have to change those negative talks, those limiting talks, those angry talks, those judgmental talks, those gossipy talks in your own head. Not just outside. Of course, I mean outside as well, because our words, our energy, and us saying something negative to someone brings more negative energy to us, whether we like it or not. And if it doesn't bring it to us right then and there, it at least passes it on, so they pass it on to someone else, unless they somehow unload it in a healing way that they know how to do. But we have to realize our words have power. Just like we can make someone angry with our words, not with our hands or anything. We can make someone angry, furious, seeing red with our words. That is serious power. So think about if you can harness the power of your words, not only externally, but internally. So if you want to change overnight, you have to start catching yourself when you're talking negative in any of these ways that I've mentioned: gossiping, judging, cursing, any of these things, anger. You have to catch yourself, because I'm not going to say you have to stop doing it, because I know you're still going to do it sometimes, but you have to catch yourself as much as you can and switch yourself to a positive mindset, to, you know what, everything's going to work out. Let me calm down. Let me take some breaths and, switch my attitude to a positive attitude. What's the solution in this problem? Let me think about the solution instead of these problems. We have to start catching ourselves in these moments, and the more that we do it, the less we'll start thinking that way. But that is the best way to change overnight, is to change the way you mentally think, especially internally, because this is what's dictating what you see. If you're walking around inside your head saying, I hate my life, I hate my life, I hate my life, today sucks, then your day's going to suck, and you're going to hate your life. If you walking around and being like, okay, like, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling amazing, ooh, I love the fresh air, it might seem silly at first, but eventually you're going to feel that way. Eventually you're going to be laughing at yourself at least, and that's going to be way better than just hating yourself and hating life. So we have to realize our mindset is powerful. Even if it seems funny at first, even if it seems goofy at first, we need to talk great to ourselves. We need to talk awesome to ourselves. We don't need to be conceited, but we just need to talk great to ourselves, hype ourselves up, tell ourselves that we love ourselves and that we can do this, and that the Most High is working for us, and our greatest good is unfolding, that we are blessed and many blessings are coming to us. So that's the best advice really I could give to you. I'm not going to go name them all off. Y'all can rewatch the video. I'd highly enjoy that. But trust me, if you do these things, just full out in one day. Like, if you do these things all in just one day that I mentioned, you will see a significant change in your life. You will see a significant change in your inner self. But you have to do the work. You have to start building your discipline. You actually have to meditate. You actually have to build your knowledge. You actually have to build your faith and realize that you're not going to get hurt from having faith. I'm naming off all the stuff, even though I said I wasn't going to do it. Still rewatch the video though, but you have to do these things. You have to cut off your phone, not cut off your phone, but cut off the time of your phone. Unless you're reading some notes, reading some scriptures, reading some affirmations while you're brushing your teeth, or you're sitting down and you're using your phone just to get some meditation music going. But cut out the morning phone time. Have some you time. Have some prayer time. Really connect with the Most High. Cut out that negative talk. Cut out that inner garbage. Everything that's not positive is actually garbage. I'm sorry. I know that society tells us that it's okay to do these things, and it's okay to talk about people, and it's okay to curse, and it's okay to talk smack and spill tea, but it's garbage. It's something that clogs your mind, and it makes you part of the problem. It makes you get that same energy back to you later. So change yourself overnight. You can definitely do it. It's not as hard as people think, but it's not as easy as instant gratification. It takes discipline, it takes time, but you can do it. That's why you're watching this, that's why you're here. So if you haven't, please subscribe, like, comment, share. I appreciate everybody that's been doing that. You know, hopefully I can keep on helping you on your journey, and I pray that you change overnight and you make those changes and build on your practices more and more, because the more different things you pick up along the way, even more than what I've listed, like eating healing foods and, you know, fasting and going on nature hikes and grounding, and I could just keep going. But once you keep on picking up more things, you're going to realize that this life is for you. The righteous life is the right path. It's a blessing. It is. You know, you'll realize, I don't even know why I was trying to live like those that are in Babylon. You don't need to live like society. They're confused. They just babble. They just speak and talk about nonsense and consume nonsense. And we're trying to help these people. People like us are trying to help everybody wake up from their phones, wake up from the illusion, wake up from the matrix that the, you know, evil elites have put society under. So let the righteous become elites. Let the meek inherit the earth. And it starts with us changing overnight, one person at a time. So share this video with people who need to change. And I pray that your change is blessed. And if you're already changed, I appreciate everything that you're doing. One love.